One company is offering a discount weight loss drug and new details on illnesses connected to a popular deli meat. Christine Lazar has more in this Eye on Consumer report.
Authorities continue to investigate a deadly listeria outbreak linked to Boar's Head products. Records obtained by CBS News show federal inspectors flagged dozens of violations at one of the company's plants in Virginia, including mold, mildew, and insects at the facility. Last month, Boar's Head recalled 7 million pounds of deli meat and other products connected to the outbreak. Eli Lilly is slashing the price of a weight loss drug. Single-use vials of the injectable Zepbound are selling for as low as $399 a month, less than half the price of similar medications, the company says. Patients with a prescription can buy the drug at Eli Lilly's direct-to-consumer website. Investment company Fidelity says about 500,000 Americans now have retirement accounts that total at least $1 million. But even though there are more so-called 401k millionaires than ever, research shows most Americans are unprepared for retirement. Overall, the average 401k balance is around $127,000. And those are some of the week's top consumer stories. I'm Christine Lazar, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, for you nap lovers, weekend naps are good for your health. A new research on how to help people with vaccine hesitancy. Explaining the possible harms of COVID-19 is the most effective strategy to convince people to get vaccinated. A study published in the Journal of Public Health gave 3 groups different messages: the harms, the benefits for yourself, and the benefits for others. 72% of people who heard about the potential harms got vaccinated, up to 10% higher than the other 2 groups. All 3 groups had a higher vaccination rates than the 4th group, given no message. It turns out if you're helping lower risk of heart disease, a study by the European Society of Cardiology found people who don't get enough sleep during the week but get more sleep on the weekends had a 19% lower chance of heart disease. Ideally, though, doctors say you should get at least 7 hours of sleep every night.